Hello and welcome back to the Grandmasters League with me, Zero Empires, and today we are moving on to round 5 of the tournament, and I'm going to talk about what that means for everyone and the players in just a moment. But hopefully you guys have caught up with where we're at. I know last week was quite busy with GML games as I missed the weekend, and there was 8 games or more in just a very short space of time, so I apologise for that. But we are back on track now, starting with dogao versus TheViper, set 1 for week or round 5 of this tournament. And we do have in red up to the north of the map RVK dogao playing as Aztecs, and his opponent today in yellow down to the bottom left of the map, TheViper, playing as Aztecs also. And I'm hoping this one is going to be quite an exciting game. We've seen some really great Aztec wars on Arabia so far, especially the Aztec war between dogao and Chris. In the first week we saw dogao face Chris on Arabia, playing as Aztecs as well, and he managed to take that game by storm. Whether he's able to do the same today, we will have to wait and see, but dogao has chosen this map as his home map, so maybe he's feeling confident that he will be able to take TheViper out here in this Aztec war. But before we get on to the rest of this game, as these guys are starting on through their Dark Age, let's have a little chat about where the GML is at right now. We're currently in round 5/week 5 of the tournament, which does mean that we are heading into the second half of the tournament now, as the tournament will last a maximum of 8 weeks. The competing weeks where we have the sets such as this will be weeks 1 to 7, or rounds 1 to 7, so technically we are over halfway. But if there are any ties for the podium positions when we get to the final round, then there will be a further week where there will be playoffs for the final positions. So that is to look forward to, and to be honest with you, if you have a look at the league table, which is linked in the description to this video, you will see how close it is for the second and third place at the moment. Aside from TheViper, who is currently in the number 1 position by quite a few points, everybody is actually tied for second and third place. There is a 4-way tie for second place and a 3-way tie for third place right now, and the competition is getting really tough. These guys cannot afford to drop any games whatsoever, otherwise it is going to be a very big challenge to end up getting into second or third position. And of course we do have TheViper, who is currently on 10 points in this league. He is 5 points clear of everybody else, and so dogao here is definitely going to be looking to take a game from him, as if Viper does win this set, he will go 5, 6, 7, 8 points clear of the rest of the league. So really, Dog needs to take some games from TheViper, and everyone's going to have to be very, very tough at facing TheViper here. They cannot afford to give him any games, otherwise it is going to solidify his position in the number 1 spot. So really, it is all to play for, and things are going to start to get exciting in these in the second half of this tournament, as players really start to realise the severity of what is going on in this tournament here, as they are going to be playing for quite some prize money. This is nice though. dogao has stole TheViper's boar, and he's bringing it in right now. As you can see, he lured that in with his Eagle Warrior, and that was a nice lure from him. Viper, of course, we saw him do the double boar lure, or boar steal even, from Feudal previously. He's now having his own boar lamed, perhaps because dogao and Feudal are on the same team. dogao wants to get a little bit of revenge for his teammate, and now he has stolen TheViper's boar to try and get himself muscle himself in to a much better position. And of course that is going to be quite important, as it's not unusual to see rushing out of Aztec players, and there's dogao's barracks going down right now, and we might even see the Viper's barracks going down pretty shortly as well. Now these guys are actually fairly close together. If we have a look at how much distance is between where Viper's going to wall off, which is his barracks here, and Dog's wall off here, it is very, very small distance between them. Dog with a little ramp here, which makes it very nice to defend from the front, but they are so close, so we could see some very nice early aggression, and dogao here definitely going to be looking to get some very good rushing action going on. Of course, this is Arabia, which does mean that it's going to be very hard to wall. Viper's base seems very spread out from front to back. Dogao's, on the other hand, much more close together. Let's have a look at their golds though, and what that means for the players. Well, Dogao's main gold is over to the left. It's not really far forwards, but it is fairly far out, and it's going to be quite hard for dogao to wall. I think he would have to wall here and here in order to make it safe, as well as this little back area. So his gold might be under a little bit of pressure in the feudal age or castle age once the Viper gets his crossbowman out, but for the time being he should be okay. His secondary gold is forward and he hasn't got any back gold whatsoever, so dogao probably going to be looking to play this quite aggressively, as he only does have 2 gold piles relatively close by, and of course that does mean that he's going to want to play aggressively to secure extra gold on the map, as it's not unusual to see Aztecs going for the fast Imperial with Eagle Warriors harassment coming at the end, and we know that dogao is extremely good at doing that, as we have seen it already when he faced Chris in the very first rounds of this tournament. So whether or not dogao is going to be able to secure enough gold to make a very good push here, we'll have to wait and see, but he's trying to secure this gold on the front by building a wall off with houses right here. Viper now just making up his drush as well. His gold isn't so bad, and I think this gold here probably belongs to dogao. It's hard to say because it's so far forwards. Actually no, that must be the Viper's gold, but Viper does have back gold here. Quite easy to wall this off. He would only have to wall this and this. He's also got side gold on the right, and he's also got front gold on the front, of course. The other golds on the map reside in the bottom, very bottom of the map, the very top of the map, and off to the left of the map as well. So we're going to see expansion towards the left, I think, especially for dogao, who is going to really want to keep this safe, and a big engagement in the center now. Who can actually take out the opponent's drush? It looks like Viper is going to be able to do a good job here, but dogao just coming in with his Eagle Warrior a little bit sooner, and Viper was a little bit slow to get his Eagle Warrior involved there, and it looks like dogao is going to take that, completely clearing up the Viper's drush there with 3 militia remaining. Viper was quite hesitant to get his Eagle Warrior involved, and I think, as you can see, he was definitely trying to make sure it stayed alive. 22 HP remain on that, but for dogao, his Eagle Warrior down to 13 HP. Very close indeed, but it did make the difference between winning and losing that little engagement. Dogao, very nicely done, managing to keep his militia alive, and now he's going to be looking to get into the Viper's base to do some damage. Viper with a quick palisade wall there though, going to prevent dogao from getting in on this front side. He might be able to come around the side and get into his wood back here, but it is going to be a while before he gets round there, and it looks like the Viper is going to be walled off. Oof, very close. Sometimes on a hill you can't be 100% sure if it's walled correctly or not, but it looks like the Viper's going to be fully walled here, and dogao is not going to be doing much harassment at all. But he could be looking to take out the Viper's Eagle, and if the Viper loses his Eagle, that could be bad because he's going to be pretty much in the dark, and although he's going to be relying quite heavily on metagame anyway, it's always important to keep scouting your opponent just in case they're going to deviate from what you're expecting of them. Of course, from dogao, what we can expect is feudal age, a couple of archery ranges, or well, an archery range and a blacksmith. We'll then see some archers coming out, a fast castle behind the drush, and then some crossbowmen once we reach the castle age, followed by a fast Imperial with those Eagle Warriors that I was talking about earlier. So we'll see who executes it the best. At the moment, if we have a look at Viper's farms here, a hell of a lot of farms going down, probably a little bit more than dogao for now, because obviously he's had to compensate for losing that boar at the beginning. So it's going to be a little bit of a quiet part of the game. Dogao is going to be looking to get some kills or some harassment with these militia and eagle here, but until we really reach the castle age, there's not going to be a huge amount of action going on. These guys just going to be working on their economies and getting up to the castle age in a reasonable time. Dogao reaching feudal first, Viper just halfway, but 31 population for him compared to dogao's 32, and considering dogao has an extra 3 militia on the field, Viper is going feudal with more villagers, but dogao's going to try and close that gap by fighting this villager off. Very close to losing his eagle there, and he's got to be careful not to lose that, as that's going to give him a little bit less scouting opportunities. And also to note over here, Viper taking these deer, and if dogao realizes that, he could actually do a nice job of getting in there. He might be able to snipe this villager. That villager's going to go down, and a very nice catch by dogao there, making these militia worth every penny, and that is really good for dogao. He's going to close the gap a little bit on the economy there, and he might even be able to get another villager over here. This villager on 22 HP. If dogao comes over here, he could finish that one off. As Viper hits the feudal age right now, he's going to go for the fast castle, that's for sure, but dogao going to come straight in. This villager is on the very brink of death, and I think dogao might just be able to catch her there. 10 HP remain on that one, and if he can chase her down, a very quick palisade from the Viper, going to buy himself some time, and that is the mark of an expert right there, slowing dogao down with those palisades so his villager can escape. It's not over yet though. Viper might still be caught out, and this villager could still go down. One more hit on the hill and she would, but I think she might just make it back to safety. Is dogao going to get it? No. 3 HP on that villager left right there, and Viper garrisoning inside of his town centre, but great control from dogao, bringing his militia away at the last second to make them fully worthwhile. And Viper now throwing 2 archery ranges down on the front. We've already got 2 archery ranges down for dogao. He's already got his blacksmith up, and he's already on the way to the castle age. So some great harassment from dogao here, some great play from him as well. And it looks like he's finally about to lose his militia here. Just try to slow the production of this archery range down, and of course the longer he can prevent the Viper getting it up, the bigger advantage he's going to give himself, as he's already creating archers from both right now on the way up to the castle age. Viper already up to castle as well, but dogao certainly in the lead right here. We can see it in his score as well, and after catching that villager in the wood and almost getting that villager that was over here, dogao is kind of muscling himself into the lead here. Viper though with a very quick palisade, very nicely done indeed, and that certainly saved that villager there. If that palisade didn't go down, that villager would have died, and that would have been it. dogao about to lose, I think, his final militia here, and once that goes down, no more scouting for you, because he has lost his eagle as well. But it's absolutely fine. They're both kind of relying on the metagame here, knowing what their opponents are going to do, and we're going to see castle age from dogao in just a second. We'll see crossbowmen heading out across the map, and Viper has got his eagle just outside of dogao's base, and look at this, Viper getting quite defensive here. It's not usual to see a wall in that huge from him, as Viper's going to put a big palisade down on this side wall, on this side, to make sure that he keeps himself safe, even adding in some skirmishers, because he knows that dogao is going to be up to castle age first, and he cannot afford to let dogao into his base here. But he's pretty much fully walled off. Once this side is walled, he will have a complete wall off, and that does mean that he is going to be safe for the time being. Can he complete the wall off before dogao comes in though? Because dogao, with those archers at the front, crossbowmen on the way, bodkin arrow likely to be researching very shortly, he could break through those walls pretty quickly. And Viper now up to the castle age, less army supply for sure, but he's researching crossbow himself. Bodkin arrow will be shortly to come, and if he can just hold on and just complete this wall, he should be okay for now. There's crossbowman from dogao, and he's going to be looking to engage this and take out as many units as he can before the Viper upgrades to crossbowman himself. He is at 86% though, and that is going to be coming out very shortly for him, as Viper though, completing his wall off, sending his army in the opposite direction, creating a little bit of a distraction, manages to get himself fully walled, and he should be okay for now. Of course, dogao has got a significant lead at this stage. He is already researched bodkin arrow right there, which is going to give him a little bit of an edge over the Viper. Bodkin arrow on the way, and they're going to even things up very shortly. And considering he's got a couple of skirmishes in there, it's all going to come down to micro here. dogao with some nice micro already, dodging a couple of volleys from the Viper and managing to pick off 2 of his crossbowmen already, make that 3, and that is nice micro from dogao there. It looks like Viper's going to have to retreat, and it seems to me like dogao is stopping or slowing down his crossbowman production. At the moment though, going to be working on his economy, getting 2 and 3 town centres out. We'll see another one from him very shortly, and he will be working on making a lot of farms and getting ready to advance to the Imperial Age in a pretty fast time. The crossbowmen are only temporary, they're only to protect himself, standing on that little hill there to give himself a tiny attack advantage, and every little bit helps, and it looks like Viper might just push him back here, though dogao, of course, standing on that hill, is going to gain a nice advantage, and as you can see, it's starting to pay off. Absolutely killing off Viper's army right there, and Viper going to have to retreat once again, and it's amazing really how much difference this tiny hill such as that can make. dogao going to stand on there and take that attack advantage, of course. Nice micro yet again, managing to pick off another crossbowman, and dogao's play here has been absolutely impeccable. Very well done so far. We're just going to be looking at his economy and checking whether he can get that third TC up in a reasonable time. Looks like Viper is just on the 1 right now, so he's certainly falling behind a little bit. Without getting that second and third TC, he's definitely going to be falling behind in villager supply, and that is going to impact him in the long run. He's trying to defend this for the time being, though. He's not able to get up enough town centres because he's continually producing crossbowmen, and his wood count is being spent on that, and that is just to protect his base. So dogao, with his second town centre up already and his third not far from there, he's starting to gain a nice little advantage here. Going to keep Viper penned in his base. Viper going to be looking to try and take out even more crossbowmen and perhaps do a bit of a counter to dogao here. Bear in mind, dogao is not walled on the right hand side, so if Viper manages to clear up this army from Dog, then he will be able to move into dogao's base and start to take some villagers. But if dogao can keep Viper penned in, then he is going to slow down his second town centre, and still without the second town centre going down for Viper, he is slowly falling behind in economy, as dogao is producing from 2 town centres right now, 2 villagers at a time compared to Viper's 1, and the third TC is going up, and that is a nice timing for dogao, as Viper still just on the 1. We've seen what happens when you don't have enough town centres. The Regicide Fortress games between Ming and dogao have proven to us that being outnumbered in TCs can be a nightmare. A nice micro from Doubt yet again with the split there, avoiding the Viper's arrows, and for the time being it looks like dogao is going to be keeping the Viper tucked up inside of his base. Viper going to have to retreat, and I think this might be a mistake. If he comes down to the low ground, Dog can just walk straight in and take the high. This could be horrible for the Viper. Just moving up to the high ground now, very quick reaction there, and if he'd have stayed down on this bottom bit and let dogao come in, then the Viper would have lost masses of crossbowmen there, and perhaps he was just luring him in to try and catch him off guard. But that was a little bit dicey for the Viper, and dogao, with a decent amount of crossbowmen now, is looking to push out and start to do some significant damage to the Viper's economy and the Viper's units. Viper though, getting out a mangonel, he's looking to go for that big mangonel shot, and if he can position it on the hill and attack down to these guys, he should be able to kill a lot of these crossbowmen. Viper now going to engage a nice split from dogao yet again, managing to avoid the Viper's army, and absolutely great gameplay from dogao right now. He might even have the numbers to push uphill, but Viper's mangonel coming out, I don't know if dogao saw that, but the mangonel is on the field, and he's going to have to be very careful of that now, because one hit from that mangonel can totally turn this around. It will give Viper the edge, and it looks like dogao knows about the mangonel there. He didn't see, or he saw this, which he could assume is the siege workshop. He may have actually seen the mangonel, but he is just going to retreat towards his base and make sure he keeps those crossbowmen alive for the time being. And he now on 3 town centres, a mangonel coming out of his own, so he does know exactly what the Viper is up to, and his economy is going absolutely brilliantly. Viper on the other hand, still on the 1 TC, and this is getting me a little bit worried. His second town centre only just going up, and that is because he's had to invest so much wood into making these crossbowmen, and it has really severely delayed him in his wood gathering and getting those TCs up. So dogao now with a huge advantage, 91 population to the Viper's 64, and that is made up purely of villagers. I don't think he's outnumbering him with army that much, and dogao now just bringing in a mangonel of his own, and you might just be able to take out the mangonel from Viper if he catches him off guard. Of course, Viper does not know about this mangonel just yet. He's probably going to assume it's on the field, but he might just get sniped. If dogao gets that shot onto that mangonel, he is going to clear up the Viper's army here, and it's going to be a really important battle. If Viper can stay alive, then he's going to have a little bit of a chance at actually doing some damage to dogao and closing that economy gap. But nice from dogao, the shot from the mangonel, taking out Viper's mangonel as well, and it looks like he's going to go again 1 for 1, and that's a great trade for dogao, 2 mangonels for 1 of his own, and now he comes in with his superior army of crossbowmen, and he should be able to send Viper right back towards his base. Viper severely losing out there with a lot of resources lost in those 2 mangonels, and dogao putting up an excellent defense, making these mangonels worth every penny. A second one coming out, or third one coming out even, and it looks like dogao is going to push Viper right back towards his base. Whether or not he's going to be able to do much is another story, but if he hangs to this high ground, gets his mangonel involved, he might just be able to do something here. Dogao going to engage, and Viper's mangonel shoots. He's going to miss totally, and a nice hit from dogao yet again. Really nice play from him. Excellent micro. He's absolutely not missed a beat this entire game, keeping his army alive, making great use of his mangonels, and so far dogao is absolutely storming ahead. 1,000 points already in difference, and a quick hit from the Viper, it's gonna miss, and a nice little forwards from dogao there. A split takes out the mangonels, and now Viper's hugging the dogao's hugging the high ground yet again. An excellent play from dogao here, and not only that, but his economy is looking absolutely incredible. He's gonna be up to the Imperial Age in just a few moments, and once he gets Imperial, it's gonna be so hard for the Viper to come back, as the Eagle Warriors are going to be streaming into his base. Nice from Viper there, just avoiding that mangonel, but dogao looking so impressive. Viper could get a big hit yet again. Oh, didn't manage to take out so many crossbowmen, but the splash damage is enough to really turn this around. Dogao starting to gain a really big lead, but having to retreat for the time being, as he has got a mangonel shortage. He's going to have to get another one out if he wants to defend against the Vipers right here. But Viper now should have his 3 TCs up, and I'd be worried if he doesn't know he does have his 3 TCs up, working on making 3 villages at a time. But just look at the difference in population, 76 to dogao's 109, and he's up to the Imperial Age as well. The barracks are starting to come down, and the blacksmith upgrades are coming in for scale mail armor already, and these barracks are going to be streaming out with the elite Eagle Warriors once he reaches Imperial. And now dogao, with the map control as well, gonna be able to secure some gold once these Eagles come out onto the map. Not only that, but the Eagles gonna be able to take out the mangonels so easily, and it's only a matter of time now. It's like a ticking time bomb before Viper finds himself very out of depth, as dogao is on the way up to the Imperial Age. Viper with 1,000 food to go. He's got the gold he needs, but that's still going to be invested in military if he ends up losing his army here. But with these 2 mangonels out, dogao should be okay for the time being, taking a little bit of splash damage there. Dogao's mangonel gonna have to take 2 pardon me, gonna have to take 2 for 1. Is he gonna do it? Very close, taking out a couple more crossbowmen, and another big hit. Nice from dogao, managing to get some crossbowmen in the fire as well, taking out another 2 right there. And his micro is just so good today. Dogao is just on top form, and Viper is looking very hard pressed to keep this up. His crossbowman army so low, his mangonel slightly low as well, and he's outnumbered of all things. Not only that, dogao up to the Imperial Age, and this is starting to look worrying for the Viper now, as the Eagle Warriors are starting to come out. 50 gold and 20 food apiece. He's got plenty of gold coming in, he's got plenty of farms to sustain production, and he can even use his market to sell off, once he gets a market, that is, he doesn't actually have one now, to sell off any excess resources. Because right now, dogao is going to have excess food in comparison to the Viper, and he can sell that off, bump up the market price for food, and really gain a little bit of an advantage from that. It looks like Viper was starting to gather some stone here, maybe looking to get a castle for defense, losing a villager there, a little bit messy. He might end up busting through this palisade wall as well, with two mangonels coming forwards. Dogao looks like he's about to seal the deal. Imperial age for him, and Viper knows he's going to be hard pressed to defend now. He's still in the castle age, he's population capped himself. He's a little bit away from getting Imperial age upgrade, but Dogao's already there. The elite Eagle Warrior upgrade is going to be on the way in just a moment, and we're seeing Eagle Warriors coming out left, right and centre. There's the Eagle Warrior upgrade, there's the forging upgrade coming in as well. These guys are going to be very well upgraded shortly, and they're going to have a lot of pierce armor as well, which just make them so perfect for raiding. If Viper can, oh no, if Dogao even can get through this wall piece, which he has, he's opened a way into the Viper's base. The raiding is about to come, and I don't think Viper's going to be able to defend here, because he is just going to be so hard pressed to defend against the raiding. In come the Eagle Warriors right now, the castle forwards from Dogao. This is absolutely incredible, and the Viper knows that it is over. Dogao absolutely outplaying the Viper there in pretty much every sense. He absolutely dominated that, and he put Viper down. That is the second game Viper's lost of the whole tournament so far, and Dogao, an incredible play, managing to take that one, which it just looks so easy for him. His micro was absolutely off the wall. And Viper knew it was over once he saw those elite Eagle Warriors coming in and a bust in his wall. So that was game one. Dogao takes it 1-0 on his home map and the Arabia Aztec War. Stay tuned, game two is going to be on the way in a little while. It won't be too long before it's uploaded, so hang in there guys, and I will see you next time.